Hello everyone, welcome back to the Global Alert TV channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most dramatic developments shaking the global geopolitical balance, the strengthening alliance between China and Russia, and how this growing partnership is creating new waves of tension across Europe, especially over the volatile region of Crimea. What once seemed like a distant partnership of convenience has now evolved into a powerful strategic alignment that has begun to redefine the military and economic equations of the modern world. As NATO watches closely, the bond between Beijing and Moscow appears to be more than just symbolic. It's a message to the West that a new world order may be emerging, one that could challenge the dominance of Western alliances that have shaped global politics for decades. In recent months, this alliance has shown clear signs of intensification. Joint military drills in the Pacific, coordinated naval operations near Japan, and shared intelligence networks across Eurasia are becoming more frequent and more sophisticated. But what truly caught the world's attention was the renewed Chinese interest in the Black Sea region and Crimea, where Russia has already been in confrontation with Ukraine and NATO since 2014. China's involvement in this region has not gone unnoticed. Analysts believe that Beijing's quiet support of Moscow's stance on Crimea could mark the beginning of a deeper geopolitical shift, one where both nations openly back each other's territorial ambitions, challenging Western sanctions and international law norms. This cooperation is not just political or military, it's economic, technological, and strategic at every level. One of the major turning points in this relationship has been the massive energy and infrastructure deals signed between China and Russia. After facing heavy sanctions from Western nations, Moscow turned eastward, finding in Beijing both a powerful ally and a reliable market for its resources. China, in turn, found in Russia an energy-rich partner that could help it sustain its industrial growth while avoiding Western dependency. The power of Siberia gas pipeline, for instance, has become a symbol of this interdependence, carrying billions of cubic meters of natural gas from Russia to China annually. Beyond energy, they are collaborating in advanced defense systems, artificial intelligence, and even space technology, signaling a strategic partnership designed to endure and expand. Nowhere is this alliance more visible and more concerning to NATO than in the military domain. The two nations have conducted joint bomber patrols over the Sea of Japan, combined naval exercises in the Baltic, and large-scale war simulations in Central Asia. These actions are not random. They are signals, bold and deliberate, to remind NATO that the days of unilateral Western military superiority are waning. With the introduction of next-generation weaponry, hypersonic missile systems, and coordinated satellite defense networks, both countries are building what some analysts call a mutual deterrence shield. This means that any direct confrontation involving one of them could potentially draw in the other, dramatically complicating NATO's response options and heightening the risk of a global conflict. In the context of Crimea, this alliance takes on a particularly dangerous form. Since Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014, NATO has increased its presence along Eastern Europe's borders, deploying additional troops and missile systems in countries like Poland, Romania, and the Baltic states. Yet, the emergence of China as a silent backer of Russia's position adds a new dimension to the crisis. Recent satellite images and intelligence leaks suggest that Chinese surveillance drones have been spotted flying near Crimea's airspace, possibly assisting Russian intelligence operations. Moreover, there have been reports of Chinese-made military technology being used to upgrade Russian naval systems operating in the Black Sea. While neither country officially confirms this cooperation, the evidence appears to grow stronger with each passing month. Economically, the China-Russia partnership represents a direct challenge to Western financial dominance. The two nations have increased trade in their national currencies to avoid reliance on the US dollar, a move that could undermine global currency systems long controlled by Western banks. They have also created joint payment systems and digital currencies to protect their transactions from sanctions. This is not just economic pragmatism, it's an act of defiance. By building a financial wall between themselves and Western influence, Beijing and Moscow are signaling that they are prepared for a long-term confrontation, not a temporary standoff. For NATO, this economic resilience means that traditional tools of pressure, such as sanctions, may no longer be as effective as they once were. Another unique aspect of this alliance lies in its technological collaboration. Both nations are investing heavily in cyber warfare capabilities, satellite defense, and artificial intelligence-powered surveillance networks. China's dominance in drone technology, combined with Russia's expertise in missile systems and electronic warfare, creates a fusion of military capabilities that no Western nation can easily match. Their joint cyber units have been accused by Western intelligence agencies of targeting critical NATO infrastructure, including power grids, communication systems, and military logistics. Whether these allegations are fully accurate or not, one thing is clear: China and Russia are working together to prepare for the wars of the future, digital, psychological, and strategic, not just traditional combat. From a strategic viewpoint, the strengthening of this alliance sends a clear message to NATO: the East is uniting. While the United States and its allies have focused on deterring Russia's aggression in Ukraine, they now face a second, more complex challenge: China's involvement in global security issues that extend far beyond Asia. The more NATO tightens its grip in Europe, the more Beijing appears willing to support Moscow's defiance. This mutual support creates what experts call a strategic echo chamber, where actions by one side are amplified by the other. This makes de-escalation much harder, and the risk of miscalculation, especially in contested zones like Crimea, alarmingly high. In analyzing this situation, it's crucial to understand the motivations driving both powers. For Russia, this alliance provides legitimacy, economic survival, and a sense of global relevance in the face of Western isolation. For China, it offers access to energy, military expertise, and a political partner that shares its opposition to Western dominance. Both nations believe that the post-World War II order, led by the United States and its allies, no longer represents the balance of power in the 21st century. By standing together, they are not only resisting pressure but actively working to build an alternative system where they set the rules. This ideological component is what truly alarms NATO policymakers, as it suggests that this partnership is not temporary but a long-term project aimed at reshaping the world order itself. As tensions rise, we are seeing the effects ripple across multiple fronts. European governments are now re-evaluating their defense strategies, with several NATO members increasing their defense spending and expanding their surveillance operations in Eastern Europe. Meanwhile, the US is reinforcing its presence in Poland and Romania, ensuring that any future Russian or Chinese military movement near Crimea can be closely monitored. But even with these precautions, many analysts warn that NATO's traditional strategies may not be enough. The alliance faces a two-front challenge: a militarized Russia and an economically powerful China, working together in ways that were unimaginable just a decade ago. In this evolving standoff, questions about safety, deterrence, and escalation become central. While no side appears eager for direct war, the growing number of military exercises, airspace violations, and naval confrontations increase the risk of accidents that could spiral out of control. For ordinary citizens in Europe and Asia, this translates to greater uncertainty and anxiety. The specter of Cold War-style divisions is returning, only this time the battlefield includes cyber networks, space-based systems, and information warfare. The safety of global trade routes, digital systems, and international cooperation is now under threat, not because of one isolated conflict, but because of the growing alignment between two powerful nations determined to challenge the world's strongest military alliance. As for the unique selling points of this alliance, its strength lies in diversity and balance. China offers economic might, technological superiority, and global influence. Russia provides military power, energy resources, and a strategic geographic position bridging Europe and Asia. Together, they complement each other's weaknesses. This is not an alliance based purely on friendship but on shared interests, a pragmatic, calculated partnership built to counter a common rival. This realism makes the partnership more stable than many predicted, giving it endurance even in the face of diplomatic pressure. When we talk about the price of this alliance, it's not measured in dollars but in global stability. The cost of this partnership is the growing fragmentation of the world into competing blocs. As the China-Russia alliance strengthens, Western nations respond with their own coalitions, from AUKUS in the Pacific to expanded NATO partnerships in Europe. The result is a world increasingly divided between East and West, where cooperation gives way to competition, and dialogue gives way to deterrence. Economies are adapting to sanctions, defense budgets are rising, and diplomatic relations are becoming more strained. The price is uncertainty, and the world is already paying it. In conclusion, the China-Russia alliance over Crimea represents far more than a regional or temporary political issue. It is a reflection of a deeper transformation in global power dynamics. NATO, once the uncontested guardian of Western interests, now faces a challenge from two determined rivals who are willing to defy its influence. Whether this new partnership will lead to open confrontation or a tense coexistence remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the geopolitical landscape is shifting faster than ever, and the balance of power that defined the 20th century is being rewritten before our eyes. The world is watching, the stakes are high, and the future of global order may depend on how these powers choose to act in the coming years.